in today's video, we're going to talk about how dogs communicate because it's happening all the time. Can you hear what your dog is saying? Hey everyone, I'm Denise Mazzola. This is Geo. We are from Everything Dog, where we talk about training and behavior so that you can solve your doggy problems and live a more fulfilled life. Now let's get into today's topic about how your dog is communicating. Now, there's the growling, the barking, the lunging, the carrying on, all of those overt signs. I would say that all of you understand that, or at least you can recognize that your dog is saying something. But what I'm talking about today, and I'm picking 4 other communications that dogs do with their body. One is panting, scratching, shaking off, full body shake off, and yawning. Now let's get into those one at a time. Panting when it's not particularly hot out is an indicator of stress. So Geo is panting here in the chair because we're sitting in the full sun and he's more susceptible to that. So it's not that he's stressed out so much. So what does this mean for you? Let's just say it's an easy example that you're out in the middle of winter, it's 15 degrees and you have a dog that is panting. Maybe your dog is panting, maybe it's somebody else's dog that's panting. But there's a lot of panting, maybe their tongue is hanging out. And most times my clients say, oh my God, my dog is really out of shape and they're panting. But that's not generally the case. Generally it's because they're so stressed out about whatever, the dog next to them, the situation they're in, the environment, it could be any number of things. But just recognize that if your dog is panting and it's not particularly hot out, then it is an indicator of stress, meaning internally they're very concerned about something that's happening around them. You could also see this in air-conditioned buildings, in a class potentially where the air conditioning is on or it's kind of cold. So remember, panting when it's not hot out is a sign of internal stress for your dog, and they're looking for you to do something to help them relieve that. Let's say you see a yawn. Oh, when we yawn, we are tired and we're trying to bring in more air. Your dogs don't yawn for that reason, and people are usually shocked when they hear this. Yawning is a sign of stress as well. So let's go back to that group walk that you're trying to get involved in, or you're meeting up with your friends, or sometimes I go and visit my daughters, and between all of us we have 4 dogs. When I see a dog in particular that's doing a lot of yawning, they are stressed. They're feeling internally stressed. Okay, panting when it's not hot out, yawning, all signs of stress. Think of it as your dog's internal emotion. The other one I want to talk about is scratching. All of a sudden they're sitting down, they start digging at their collar. If they're a puppy and they're just got their collar on, okay, then, they're probably just fussing with the collar. But I've had dogs that come to see me, they sit downstairs and they start scratching their collar, scratching their collar, scratching the collar. They're stressed, they're in a new environment, they don't know what's happening, and they're sensitive to that kind of thing, so that can be stress. And the last one is a full body shake off. When your dog goes, brrr, and like head to toe, not just the head shake, head to toe they're shaking off. So when you see that full body shake off, they are dissipating stress. We call it a stress shake off. So let's say your dog and another dog has just met, they're sniffing around, you're like, oh, this is great, everything's fine. And then your dog walks away and goes, brrr, and shakes off. Yeah, everything may be okay, but just make a mental note, that interaction with that dog was stressful because they just did a full body shake off. Maybe they then are, maybe you're walking with your friend and their dogs or whoever you're with, and they're shaking off. Again, start to count them. Stress shake-offs can be a really good indicator, again, of your dog trying to sort of relieve that stress, to shake it off is what we call it. When I was visiting with my daughter after she gave birth, she was still in the hospital, I took her little dog out for a walk. We went to this very nice state park. It was January. It was cold. It was like 10 degrees. And we walked for an hour. And during that time, she shook off 12 times. That's a dozen times. Yes, I counted. That's a lot of stress shake off. Was she enjoying that walk? No, probably not, right? I was enjoying the walk. Even though there wasn't a lot of things going on, it was a pretty empty park, she was still very, very nervous. And she was panting, tongue hanging out, fully panting. It was 10 degrees out. So that just tells me that she was very stressed in that situation. Now, it was just her and I. We weren't around any other dogs. There was nothing else really happening. So, we headed back to the car and we left. I want you to pay attention to clusters of stress signals. So if you see yawning, stress shake-offs and panting when it's not particularly hot out, you need to start paying attention and think, I have 3 stress signals going on with my dog right now. Maybe I need to help him relieve that stress. So you could leave the group, you could walk further away, you could drop behind so you're following people instead of keeping your dog right steady all in the mix of things. Too hot. Okay, let's just do a quick review. Panting when it's not hot out, yawning, scratching at their neck, and full body shake-offs are called stress shake-offs. All of those things can be an indicator of stress, and you want to watch for clusters of them when you see more than one. Okay, when we teach in-person classes and we have a group of dogs in a room, we're always watching for those stress signals. And when we start to see a cluster of them, lots of yawning, lots of panting, and the air conditioning is full blast, we'll just suggest to that person that they take a little walk, take their dog outside, help the dog kind of reset their internal stress, get them a little more relaxed, and then come in and try again. If you are meeting friends or you're meeting in a large dog walking situation, watch for clusters of stress signals. Because if your dog has clusters of stress signals, they're panting, it's not hot out, they're shaking off and they're yawning, and you're just going along, and you're not cognizant of what your dog is saying to you at that time, that's a great time that you could potentially end up having a dog fight, or your dog might have to elevate their communication to a growl, to a snap, or to something else to the dog that may be the cause of their stress. So it's really up to you. Yes, chat, enjoy your friends, enjoy who you're walking with, but your eyes should be peeled on your dog as well so that you can watch for those signals and say, hey, my dog is feeling a little stressed. These are things that I'm noticing. I'm going to hang back and walk back a little bit away from everybody. I'm going to step over to the left and walk a little, give my dog some distance that way. But your dog will need some distance, or you can just say, hey, I'll meet up with you guys next time, and go and head on home. The responsibility is on to you, the dog owner, to watch out for your best friend, to help them and ensure that they are going to have a successful trip, dog walk, experience, class, whatever they're doing, so they will enjoy that. And they can't say to you, hey, I'm stressed, please help me. They can't pull on your shirt, pull on your leg. They are communicating, they feel it, they're communicating it, and it's up to you guys to observe it. I know you can do it. Go and have fun with your dog.